With nearshore fishing, you get the best of both worlds. You have the opportunity to catch whatever's running close to the beach, like migrating kingfish, cobia, Spanish mackerel, and striped bass. And usually just a few miles offshore, you can find the larger bottom dwellers like grouper, snapper, amberjacks, and more. But this program isn't all about just watching us catch fish. You can get plenty of that by watching television on Saturday mornings. Instead, we've gathered a group of charter boat captains, marine industry professionals, and experienced skippers and anglers to provide valuable information to help you become a better nearshore angler and skipper. For those new to the world of nearshore boating and fishing, it's the next step toward moving to the big blue waters. But don't think that just because you can't reach or don't feel comfortable 50 miles offshore, that you're limited to small fish or just a few species. It's actually quite the opposite. If you have a seaworthy boat capable of running just a few miles beyond the beach and one that has a shallow enough draft to fish in close, then you've got all the bases covered. When the weather and seas allow, you can zoom out of the inlet and spend the day targeting fish on artificial reefs, wrecks, and natural bottom. Or if the seas kick up, you still have the option to fish in close and go after a variety of line-tugging fish from flounder to tarpon. Now that's something that those folks in the 50-foot sport fishers can't do, and you burn a whole lot less gas. So what exactly is a nearshore boat? Well, it really depends on where you'll be fishing, your skill level as a skipper, how many people you'll normally have on the boat, and a multitude of other factors. But for me, I prefer a boat with a deep V hull that will keep me relatively dry if the seas kick up, and also one that has a shallow enough draft to allow me to fish the flats and inlets if I choose.
When it comes to a choice of a vessel, of course, it has to do with the kind of activity you want to focus on. There's going to be anglers that enjoy basically close to shore, very inshore fishing. You're going to see a different kind of boat. It's more like a bass boat. It's a flat bottom, and they can go into really, really skinny water. This group of fishermen mainly go into the what we call the flats or the inshore grounds.
When you're considering purchasing electronics for a boat that has a lot of exposure to the elements like this one, here are a couple of things to think about. First, placement of each unit. You want them to be in a position where you can easily see them and gain access to the operational controls from the helm station. Also consider placement so that they do not block your view when operating the boat. Secondly, I highly recommend that you consider buying equipment that is waterproof or submersible versus equipment that is simply water resistant. If you always go boating on days that are bright, sunny, without a cloud in the sky, then water resistant equipment should do just fine. However, if you find yourself in that thunderstorm where the rain is horizontal or the seas kick up and you get a lot of spray on you and your equipment, you'll begin to appreciate the fact that waterproof equipment is less likely to fail when it gets wet.
Let me take a moment to show you one of my favorite bottom rigs and how you tie the rig itself. You have your main line, which is 50-pound test. You double it over, so the double line is about 1 foot long. Then you take a little loop like this and hold it between your thumb and forefinger and take your double line and go under and through, pull it snug, under and through, pull it snug, and 3 times you do that, each time pull it snug. Lubricate a little bit and pull it tight. And then to this doubled main line, I attach a section of 100-pound test leader. And the way I do that is with a uni knot. I take the single line leader material and I make a little loop next to the doubled line, and I go under and through, It's just a regular uni knot. You can look it up in any book. 3 times I go through and I pull it tight. And I do the same thing on the other side with a doubled line. Make the little loop, go under and through, pull it tight, under and through, pull it tight, and under and through. Use your finger as kind of the way to pull it. Lubricate it, pull it tight, and these 2 knots will slide together. Now take a pair of snips and take off the single tag ends, but I leave the doubled line. There's a reason for it, and I'll show you in a minute. Now I'm just taking about a 2-foot section of leader material, and I tie my hook on this end. And with a 100-pound test, one of the easiest knots to tie is the uni knot. Just double it back, make the loop, and go under and through again 3 times. Each time snugging it up. Make sure your tag end is going away from the hook. Get it a little tight, lubricate it, slide it back down. Take your snips, take off your tag end. And what makes this rig so special is the loop that you left here on your uni knot that attaches your leader to your main line. On a bank sinker, you push it through the eye of the bank sinker and then let the bank sinker come back through the loop and let it slip around the knot. Don't bring it all the way up because there's a reason for that. Well, after you finish fishing, you just take your double line, you push it, remove your sinker easily, rig it back up on your pole here, and as you're going to your next spot, your sinker's not up there doing damage to your rod.